Hi, welcome to WOW TV. My name is Angel, and I'm here from the Wizards of Wright program. The WOW program is a part of the Educational Outreach Office here at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Today you're going to learn a little bit about rocketry, build your own rockets, and then use the force of a stomp to launch them. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Let's begin by talking a little bit about how rockets came to be. In the 1st century AD, the Chinese experimented with simple explosives. Although these powders were used to create small explosions in religious festivals, they eventually ended up in weapons. The Chinese would fill bamboo tubes with this mixture and attach them to arrows. These were called fire arrows and were used when the Chinese repelled the Mongol invaders with a rocket barrage in 1232. Much later, in 1405, a German engineer devised a rocket that was propelled by gunpowder. A few years later, France used rockets in 1429 and again in 1449. During the 1600s and 1700s, rockets weighing as much as 100 pounds were used. These exploded and sent small pieces of shrapnel in all directions. Then, during the last part of the 17th century, the scientific foundations for modern rocketry were laid by Sir Isaac Newton and his understanding of physical motion. A British artillery expert started standardizing the makeup for gunpowder explosives during the 18th century, and then added flight stabilizing guide sticks. He was able to increase the rocket's range from approximately 300 yards to over 3,000 yards. In the War of 1812, between Britain and the United States, the British used rockets against the U.S. troops. During a typical siege, the rockets would light up the night sky, and in the battle at Fort McHenry in 1812, Francis Scott Key witnessed the display. This inspired him to write a poem, which later became part of the Star-Spangled Banner. Even with improvements in stabilization, the rocket was never used as a major military weapon until the 1900s. By the end of the 19th century, people were beginning to dream of traveling into space and reaching other planets. To accomplish this, it would require a machine that had great power and speed. At first, the scientific community laughed at the idea of spaceflight, but a few brave scientists continued to dream and even develop experiments using rocket power. Today, you will build your own. Teachers, in a moment, please pass out the materials that your students will need. You have directions in the binders that I sent you, but let me give you an idea of what you'll be doing. First, you'll make the body tube. Wrap a sheet of construction paper lengthwise around one of the PVC pipes. Then, tape the construction paper so that it is airtight along the full tube. It is very important that you do not tape the tube too tight, as it must be able to slide off that PVC pipe. Then, using 2 index cards, fold each one in half and cut triangles as fins. Leave a flap available because it will make it easier to tape to your body tube. Your rockets may be constructed with either 3 or 4 fins. Next, tape your fins to the body tube. They should go at the bottom of your rocket and be balanced and evenly spaced. Still using the PVC tube will help maintain rigidity while taping on those fins. Now we want to focus on the nose cone. Flatten the tip of the rocket to make that nose cone and cut a V shape and then tape the pieces together to be airtight. The last thing you want to do is write your name on your rocket. Make sure you aren't aiming at anyone. You should disinfect the tube before and after doing this. Let's pause here so you can build your rockets. When you come back, we'll talk about how to launch them. Okay, before you go outside to launch your rockets, I'd like to go over a few things. Teachers, you'll need an open field or area and an even, firm surface. Either grass or pavement will work. Students should stand at least 10 feet away from the launcher unless they are launching their rocket. Place your rocket onto the vertical pipe and insert your bottle into the hose. When your teacher gives the direction, stomp on that bottle. Some stomped bottles may be reusable for a second launch. However, after repeated use, they will become ineffective. Recycle your worn-out bottles when you're finished. Please wait and retrieve your rockets as one group after everyone has launched. If you go get it as soon as it is launched, you could possibly be injured by someone else's rocket. Okay, you're all set. Go launch those rockets. Thanks for joining me. And teachers, thank you for using this WOW lesson. Please check out more at our website at wpafbstem.com.